Hello to Grandpa Snippets, and last one we were by the fireplace in the back room. We moved to the fireplace now here in the front room. This is a gas fireplace and it does work. I disconnected it though, but if I hooked it back up it would work. Used it one time in our lives, and I think the electricity was out for 24 or 36 hours or something like that, and we pulled the couch over here, and I think the kids were home at the time, and we put the gas fireplace on and stayed warm and brought food in and ate. The reason why we couldn't use the furnace is because there was no electricity coming to the thermostat, so that's what caused that problem. But yeah, we're nearing the end of a football season, so we talked about Christmas a little bit before, but let me back up a little bit to football season. I hope that your team has been doing well. The Piqua Indians or whoever you got, your Browns or your Bengals or Ohio State, which we hope goes quite a ways. So I've got Brutus here, which Shelly and Tony gave me. Used to play the fight song, but he quit about a week ago, or I'd play it for you. And so, yeah, it's the end of the football season. I earned a letter in high school in sports. I was baseball manager. Right here it is. Right there, baseball manager. I don't think they give out these letters anymore. And I enjoyed it. I wasn't good enough to be on the team. I didn't play that well. But I was a manager, and I was a good manager. I did a good job. Found out there's more work to it than you think, taking care of the equipment, transporting the equipment to the ball field, and doing all kinds of things, but I loved it. Also got a Indian head. Now, all this was on a real red sweater. Really nice. But my red sweater kind of died with the ages. It's gone. So I thought, well, I just pinned these on this white sweater and show you the fact that this was kind of like letters and so forth that I had. And I had a 51 on this sleeve, which meant that's the year that I graduated. I love football. Really love football, but again, not a good player. 128 pounds and skinny. Boy, nowadays you have to be 6'2" and 200 pounds. And back there, some of the kids were smaller, but I was not really that good. But I wanted to play for Coach Wirtz. Coach Wirtz was one of the winningest coaches in the league and won more championships. And everybody wanted to play for Coach Wirtz, so I played for him. Good experience. I would really be disappointed with myself if I hadn't tried it and hadn't done it, but I did it. What it cost me was a lot of sweat and a lot of sore muscles, but it was a lot of fun. I got in 2 games and probably for a total of 3 plays, but I did it. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was good. My brother David was the sports guy of the family. He played football, I played basketball. I remember seeing him play at Hope Arena in a basketball game down there. I think it was the county or the tournament. But what he basically was a really good baseball pitcher. I think he won 20 games and maybe only lost 2 while he was in high school. And so Dave was really a good pitcher, and think of that. Do you remember the day, though, when you woke up and realized you were in the race of life? You were put in the race of life when you were born and drew your first breath and got slapped on your bottom and took your first cry. You were entered in the race of life. You weren't going to get out of it. You couldn't disqualify and say, I don't want to run. Every one of us has to run. We're compelled to run because we've been entered by the breath of life. But I remember the day that I really realized that I was in the race of life, and that was when I was 12 years of age, and I felt convicted of my wrongs and gave my heart to Christ, and so I set off in the race of life. Boy, 12 years of age and looking ahead, that seemed like a long race ahead. It's been 76 years I've been running. And I realize that now I'm near kind of the end of the finish line. But I've enjoyed the race. Yes, there's been uphills, there's been downhills, there's been breeze to my back, there's been wind to my face. I've had to buster through many times. But I think what Paul said in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 7 and 9, 2 Timothy 4, verses 7 and 9, where he said, I have fought a good fight, I finished my course, I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all that love his appearing. So sometimes it's, oh me, oh my, in the race, and other times it's very much, God helping us and so forth. Let me give you a quick illustration of a runner, a cross-country runner, and he was trogging along, and he thought he was going to take us through, looked like a good place for a shortcut. And so he crawled over the fence and just started then jogging along across till he would pick up his, where he's supposed to come out over the other end. Well, he didn't realize that his red shirt blowing in the breeze, and a bull caught the eye of it and started chasing him. He ran probably faster than he ever run in his life, and he got over the fence by the hair of his chinny chin chin. So there's no shortcuts in life. You have to run your race of life that you've been put in. You can't get out of it. You can't throw in the towel. You can't say, I quit, I'm going to walk off the course. No, you will finish the course. Sadly to say, there's two destinations. There's one to heaven and one to, hell. So, but Hebrews says, 12:1, run with patience the race that is set before us. Run with patience. Determination. I'm going to make it. I'm not quitting, and I'm not throwing in the towel. And Solomon in Ecclesiastes 9:11 said that the race is not to the swift, the fastest, but to those who are persistent, those who will not give up, those who will not quit, those who will stick with it, who can say, I can do it, I will make it by God's help. So we're all entered into that race of life. In the Living Bible, it says in 1 Corinthians 9:24, run your race to win it. So instead of getting a letter P or whatever your school would be, or some recognition, or if you were in the Olympics of the New Testament, to get a wreath out of olive leaves, which would wither and fade and die, Jesus says in Revelation 21:7, he says these words, he that overcometh, or he that runneth and finish, shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. And what he's promised you in Revelation 2 and verse 10, the last part of the verse, he said, be thou faithful, continue to run till the end of life, and I will give you the crown of life. So finish the race. Here's your rule book, here's your guide, here's your strength, and by God's help you can make it. And I'm praying for you each day that that's exactly what you do. Okay, got a couple more before Christmas, and that'll finish out the year, believe it or not. God bless you.